Hello guys, it's RagingRaptor here and I welcome you to a little rundown of the next upcoming 9.3 patch, which has the biggest focus on the light tanks. So basically, I will just go through some general changes and then explicitly to the new light tanks and say also something to the parameters and their performance. And yeah, in this video you will not see gameplay at the moment. I will make a second one with gameplay of the tanks. So then let's start with the general changes. First of all, for new vehicles which were introduced to the USA were the T-37, Tier 6 light tank, the Walker Bulldog, this little thing, and the T-49. In Mother Russia we have the new LTTB, excuse me, and the T-54 lightweight. And Germany received the Ru-251. Then another interesting thing is that the super testers or the test players got the T-3485M, which is, let me just show you in the tech tree. It is such this T-3485 with the same gun but with better armor. This one, for example, has 45mm of full armor. The other has, as far as I know, 70, which is so it's just basically a heavier and slower variant of the T-3485. Then another great change, I have to say, is the new interface. You think, I don't know, you have in mind that you sometimes want to invite somebody to the platoon, you click here and you go and set on the platoon, you go on the battle button, yeah, nice, and you get instantly in the battle and your friend has to wait or you have to wait till the battle is over. They changed it. You have now here the random battle and everything, team battle, tank company. Okay, still here the notification center. Then here, of course, a big platoon window, which is great. This even changed as well, the platoon. You can now invite players if some friends would be online or somebody of the clan, which isn't, of course. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Then also they changed the service record. It is now also here, but also here. It also shows you the personal rating, the battles fought, and your rate of victory, as well as your clan. And yeah, it's kindly the same. Then several new awards were added, which I won't go deep into it because, as far as I know, they're quite easy to obtain. Like this one, I'm at one match with the T-49, and the only thing you have to do is to do more damage than your HP have, which is for a player which is playing at 2300 for example, is so easy to achieve. Yeah. Then there were other things, especially new HD models were introduced in the game. The T-34, as you can see, it's of course it is the elite version, but also you can get stock turret. It has a new HD model. Then the IS-7. Oh, look at this! Look at this! Look at this! They're wobbling around. I basically have to say, it looks great. The HD model looks really great. So probably the SIF in front of the gun isn't that accurate, but you can see you can look through the little holes. See? Then yeah, the only thing at the moment, it is the first test ever and the tracks are a little bit bugged. For example, when you drive backwards, up here they are strafed, but as far as you drive forward, they are not strafed. So stiffened. They are just yeah, like this. So, but normally when you would drive forward, they stiffen themselves, they get stretched, and there would be a more flat surface. But now it is just a little wobbling around when you drive forward. When you drive backwards, it isn't like that. And yeah, of course, the upper gun was put down. I don't know why, but I think it looks better. Otherwise it was like a really huge satellite. Then just I see one tank which I forgot to buy. No, I didn't forget to buy, but missed to make him primary. Is the IQ, which is also added as an HD model. So this, as you can see, yes, of course you can see new HPG model. You can even also see the SIF is other, or you can look through it like in War Thunder, yes. Then yeah, PL9, no problem, but just then come on. Like this, then like this. PL9, nothing special, still devastating gun. PL-9S can also show it, but don't think that they changed much at the PL-9S because it's still a long barrel. Yeah, nothing changed here. Then the IM-5 Stuart was also remodeled on par with the new US light tank line, but yeah, nothing special. Then as well another tank which I forgot is the M3 Lee, which is here. Just brought it for the loots. Of course, putting 5,000 different buttons, which I didn't want to press, but never mind. Here is it. Set as primary. Go back to all, and yeah. This is the HD model of the M3 Lee. Again, it's low tier, nothing special to say. Still big gun, yeah. Looks, as I said, the HD model looks great. Also that they have independent suspensions is also a great addition, and I really like that. And the last of the old or remodeled tanks is the Jagdpanther. One tank which I think looks great, is great, and it's a Panther, and the Panthers are just great tanks that look great. And yeah, to say this is with the 10.5 centimeter pack, this with the 88. Oops, let me just purchase it, and yeah, nothing really special here. Then something else which is new is that they changed the mechanics of the shell's ricochet after it hits a vehicle. And as far as I understand that now the shell will continue his flight. For example, you would take the IS-7, you have it like this, you should frontline it, or no, just take the Jagdpanther, was better. You shoot here, in this angle, it will ricochet like this, which wouldn't be real, and here will be standing another tank. It could hit him and penetrate him. I think this is something which they introduced now, because in the new patch note it is standing mechanics of a shell ricochet after it hits a vehicle reworked. Now it continues to move instead of disappearing. Yeah. Then another thing, the Muramanka web fully reworked, so it got bigger from 800 to 800 to 1000. They added several hills on the heavy side and on the magic forest side, and yeah, also made some lumberjack temp, killed many trees. These were to the general. Then to some tank differences. They probably rebalanced the object for 30. They gave it less reload from 6.9 seconds to 6.4 seconds. The gun dispersion was also changed, so it is more accurate while driving. But the gun got more inaccurate from 0.35 to 0.38, which is quite much when you compare it with other Russian mediums like the Object 140, which has 0.35. Yeah. Then we come to other nerfs. Of course, the Hellcat got nerfed in several aspects: in reverse speed, in turning speed, in reload speed, and probably in track modeling. I don't know, this is also just a little bug from the test server. Also, the gun dispersion while driving was huge, was quite increased. You will have quite a hard time to hit something while driving, because your gun circle is much higher. Then they nerfed FV-304 in also several aspects like turning speed with top and stock tracks, the dispersion as well while driving, while moving the turret, moving the tank, as well the reload time, which was changed from 12 seconds to 13.5 seconds, and from the aiming time from 4.5 to 4.8 seconds. Still deadly, but not that much anymore. And also for some fans which really likes to play low tiers, the T18 was nerfed, also especially in terrain resistance and traverse speed, a huge traverse speed nerf from 30 to 22 degrees per second. Also reverse speed was changed, the howitzer reload was also nerfed from 4.8 seconds to 5.2 seconds. And as well as the gun dispersion, also that the aiming will take longer and the gun is more inaccurate. Yeah, then also a change to our all-beloved Tier 6 pedo bear / sea clubber tank, the KV-1S, basically now the KV-85. They got split. Now the KV-1S is on Tier 5 and have two options for top guns, which is as well an howitzer like the KV-1 has. I will show you now the difference between the KV-1 and the KV-1S howitzer. As you can see, the KV-1S howitzer is slower in reload and worse accuracy. It's just worse. It's not that. It's just worse than the one of the KV-1. Nothing special. Yeah. For that, the KV-1S has better mobility, less armor, but better mobility, which can in this tier range also quite help. I think it will be rather a good alternative. The second top gun, which is also an 85mm, I will also compare it with the K1. It has just 1 point of penetration lower, has the better aim time, 2.5 seconds to 2.9, excuse me, and the same damage. The rate of fire is also the same. Little less penetration, better aim time. In this, the gun is better. 85mm gun for the KV-1S on tier 5 will be better than the normal one of the KV-1. Also, when you're just looking at the penetration of the, it's only a little bit less penetration, but they're still good. Better aim time, I would take the KV-1S in this. Excuse me. Then now we come to our Obeloff tier 6 tank, which stays as tier 6 with an 122mm gun. Just they nerfed the hell out of it. 3 rounds per minute, which is 20 seconds reload. And an depression buff. Depression nerf from -8 to -3, which is historical. They nerfed several things, also armor and some things, but especially the gun they nerfed. And for that they gave us another gun, an alternative, the 100mm. As you can see, I will just shortly calculate. The 122mm gun has a damage per minute in this configuration of 1170. This is nothing. This is really nothing. You can't kill a tiger, which is 1 tier above you, in 1 minute. You need more than 1.5 minutes, I would say. Of course, this is with 20 seconds reload. Some guys you can take a tank gun rammer, good crew, adrenaline rush, consumables, ventilation will also reduce the rate of fire, but like this it is with stock configurations only. With the tank like it is without tank gun rammer and etc. It is 1170 damage per minute. With the 100mm gun it is, drum roll please, 1972. It is 800 damage per minute more. This is just amazing. Also, the accuracy is better, the aim time is better, the penetration is on 5 points lower. Take the 100mm guns. It will make the KV-1S still a fearsome opponent, but with less alpha damage, and he won't two-shot most of the tier 6 tanks, and he won't one-shot most of the tier 5 tanks. Tier 4 tanks still now has also a chance to survive one shot. This to the KV-1S split nerf. And also something which I want to point out is that the IS tank's gun was buffed. Not to 122mm, but this little baby, the 100mm. The aim time was reduced and the reload time, and also the accuracy was also buffed quite a bit, from 0.42 to 0.38, which is quite much. And also the reload time from 9.3 seconds on the top turret to 7.8 seconds. That's huge. This is 1.5 seconds reload. Less reload. This is amazing. This is a good thing for the IS. And also consider, why don't I take a more accurate gun with less alpha damage, but it's just probably more reliable. Good thing. Let's see what happens. Then another thing, general thing, is that the durability of all light tanks which are in the game, except for the type 64. Where is it? This type 62. Except for this baby. Type 64 got better suspension. This one not. It's only light tank which didn't got better suspensions. Never mind. 10% increased. Suspension's durability. You don't get deject so fast anymore. Well, it's still fast, but yeah, a little bit. Then one huge buff to many German tanks is that they separated now the transmission, which is here, with the engine, which is here. So basically, pre 9.3, you shoot here in the lower plate, in the weak spot. 2 out of 3 shots you will burn, even with automatic fire extinguisher. Now, when you shoot here, your transmission get damaged, your engine get damaged, but you won't burn. They separated this, and this is, I think, in my opinion, a huge buff to German tanks. Also for the Object 263, which has the same problem, but especially for German tanks, for all E100 series, also for Tigers, for Tiger 2s, for Panther 2s, for Jagdpanthers. It's only from tier 8 to tier 10. But still, it's a huge buff for these German tanks, for these German steel beasts. But now we come to the main feature of this update after these tank changes, and these are the new light tanks. We will start with the LTTB, with the Russian line. This one is the first one, it's the new one. What I have heard of it is that it is more armored. It has a really good armor for a medium tank. And yes, it has very good armor. It has 90mm of front armor for a tier 7 light tank. Spoiler, it is even more hull armor than the type T54 lightweight has. But back. So I just made some calculations with the stock configuration, stock engine, stock gun, top engine. So the stock version with the stock motor have an average, so the gun, you'd see, you can take it from other Russian tanks, from mostly Russian the medium line. It has not really good penetration, damage is okay, accuracy is not very good, and the aim time is also not very good, but it has at least a damage per minute of 2060. The engine has 550 horsepower and the HP to ton ratio is 24.8, which is really good when you look later on. When you have now the top configuration of the gun, which is huge. It is also only for the LTTP. You will also get this gun, which is worse of course, but you have it from other tanks and it makes it a little bit easier to grind this gun, because I think this gun is beast. 170mm of penetration is enough for tier 9 tanks to get penetrated in the side, even for tier 10 tanks, for medium tanks. It also, as you can see, it isn't that big. It is big, but not that big, so it can also passive scout. And since this gun can be deadly to some mediums, because it has 2116 damage per minute with the 700 HP engine. It gets an HP to ton ratio of 31.6. This is simply amazing. This is so high. This will be probably the new T-52 for all you lovers out there which like the T-52 and are so depressed that it got removed. But yeah, still, it is 31.6. This is amazing. Also, the grind isn't really hard. You get mostly this gun for free. The turret is already here. The engine is also here from your previous tank. You just need to research the tracks and the gun. Yeah, the radio, you will have it mostly, because look at this variety of tanks which have it as well. Then we come to the new tier 8 tank, the T-54 late white. Yeah, first of all we look at this. This first gun is same gun like on most other tanks, KV-3, IS-3, T-44, IS. On the IS it's not also the 100mm which got buffed. As you can see here, it has worse accuracy, it's a 0.4, long aim time, midi-core penetration 175 isn't that good. At least it has good composite-rich good gold penetration. The rate of fire is also okayish. It gives you a DPM of 1870, which isn't that great when you think that this little fella makes with less the average damage, much higher DPM. But yeah, it has better armor. Turret armor is quite strong for a medium tank, for a light tank, excuse me. The whole armor is also really strong. 80mm is also a good amount of effective armor when you angle it. But don't think this is a medium. Don't think really. You can play it as a medium. It's a multi-purpose vehicle, but no armor, at least for high caliber guns and for tier 10 mediums. Also there's a good amount of HP, hit points. Then the stock engine has 520 horsepower. Yeah, isn't that great. Gives you an HP to ton ratio of 17.3. No, not really good. Acceleration, not really good. Top speed won't reach it that good. Yeah, fuel range 390. Meh. It's slow, it has a good profile, probably a good passive scout. Yeah. Then when you go to the top gun, which you will have in the most cases, because it is the stock gun of the T-54, and mostly you play the T-54, is better. Same penetration, same damage, but better accuracy, a lot more less aiming time, and the rate of fire is a little bit higher. It gives you only 5 more damage per minute, but yeah, for that you get a much better engine. The top engine has 700 HP, which means your tank will speed around with 23 HP per ton. I think this will be great. As you can see, most of the models will be already researched. No new turret, no new gun, no new engine. Only tracks. There's the question, do you really need this tank, or do you just want to troll around with the LTTP? Because then you will get to the T-54, and T-54 has 3 tanks, how they can research that. Yeah. But now we go on and go to the Ru-251, the German scout tank, which comes from the Jagdpanther or the AFK Panther or the Fail Panther. You can call it whatever. But this thing is really good. Well, first you have to notice it has only one gun, so this means right at the beginning you have the top gun with good stats. 190 penetration, not bad. From all new light tanks it is the best. 250mm heat shells, why not, is enough for the most mediums. TDs, say goodbye to your side. Then the average damage of 240 is also really good. It is the same like the stock gun of the Leopard PTA. Accuracy, nothing to complain about. Aiming time, nothing to complain about. Rate of fire gives us 2323 damage per minute. Nice. 2300, this is quite a lot. Also the turret is the same. It doesn't change. It has 400 view range, which is more than the Russians have. It has a low profile, so it will get a good camouflage. When you look at this, the D54 lightweight is higher, LTP as well. For that, no armor. No armor. So when this little fella comes with his gun, hits, goodbye. But back to this gun. It has first a 500 HP engine. It has 3 of them. This is, 500 HP, meh. 19.2 HP per ton ratio, not really speedy. But when you upgrade to the top engine, it gives us 630 HP. And you will get it from other tanks for the Leopard PTA and the Indian Panzer. You get 24.2 HP per ton. A fair value, I would say. Overall, this tank will be, I also think, a great supporter with good camouflage, great view range, and there will be a deadly little Leopard 1. And me as a Leopard 1 lover, I'm really considering to get this tank because it really also looks great. But yeah, we move on. Also some thing changed on the Jiffy, but I don't want to light them up so much because it is still an old tank, we know it already. It just gets a new 57mm gun, which has not really good penetration. The older one was much better. Yeah, but we will move on to the T-37, because this is a new one. First, in the stock configurations, it has not really a good gun. It is a hard grind to get with this gun. It would be a hard grind. But you have to get through it, because this gun, only for this tank. Then you need a turret. And then we move on to guns which only are for this tank. Yeah. But back to the stock, because you mostly have to play the stock for a while. This tank has 2128 damage per minute with this gun. Really good, but with this penetration on tier 6 against tier 9 tanks, no. Aiming time, okay. Accuracy, okay. Golden penetration, no, please, no. The engine with 450 in stock version gives you 19.23 HP per tons, which isn't as well not that good. Well, we step it up a notch and get the top gun, the top turret and top engine. Now you have a damage per minute which is a little bit less with 2090, but you get better penetration, better accuracy. Yeah. Better accuracy, better penetration, better gold penetration, average damage. It will take a little bit, but yeah. Then with the new engine, which has 500 HP, it will give you 21.3 HP to tons. But one good thing about this thing is it has an autoloader as well, a new gun which has also to research separately, but It can be probably a good investigation. It has a 5-shell magazine. In 6 seconds you will in 8 seconds you will lose all shells. And you have a damage of 557 in 8 seconds. It reloads 20 seconds, it has the same little less penetration but the same values. And yeah, it can also be something like a T-71 on tier 6. Why not? Who likes it, takes it. Research here, just go over the guns. The engine, you will have probably researched it already on the T-69. And yeah, the guns will be just a pain in the ass. Then we go to the M41 Walker Bulldog. Damn, that thing looks great. But first again to the stock variation. Better gun on tier 7, but still not sufficient. This gun, again, you have to research it all over again. You don't have any models like on the Russian line or on the German line, which you have already. But yeah, the stock gun gives us a whopping 2225 damage per minute. This is much. This is close to that one of the RU 251, which was 2300 as a stock gun with okayish penetration, even with gold good penetration. The engine is with 500 HP not that good, gives us 21 HP per ton. When we now upgrade to the top gun and the top turret and the top engine, you get a whopping 2500 damage per minute. Good penetration with gold, midi-core accuracy, good aiming speed, 400 fuel range on tier 7. Yeah, why not? 550 HP engine, 23 HP per ton. One new thing as well is it has also an autoloader gun, which you even can research before the turret. This gun is also not that bad. It has really interesting stuff on it. We compare the top gun with the autoloader gun. Same caliber, same penetration, same damage, less accuracy, less higher aiming time, but you make 1500 damage in 18 seconds. Compared with the AMX 5100 on tier 8, which makes in 13.65 seconds 1800 damage. This is not bad for a light tank. It will rip apart artillery pieces. It will rip apart asses of enemy tanks, even especially with a sniper. A dead eye, because then you will make model damage like hell with this gun. 32 seconds reload. Yeah, it's midi-core, but you can probably install a tank gun rammer, which also will reduce this reload speed quite much. But now we come first of all to the engines, which you will also have from other tanks. But now we come to this baby with this gun. Wow, 152mm gun launcher on a light tank. A light tank with HE against light tank, which can do 910 damage. Derp KV-2 on tier 8 against tier 10 tanks. Let's have a look at it. As again, 400 fuel range. Okay, not that bad. But now we look at this. First of all, again, 500 HP engine and stock variation gives us 21.6 HP per ton. Top engine with 550, 23.7, which is standard on these tanks now. But the stock gun is really not that good penetration. Good high damage, but not good penetration. And high explosive, not as well. Good height of fire, yes, 9.25 to this can do massive amount of damage when it penetrates, but with this amount of penetration, no. Whooping 3000 damage per minute, but not with this penetration. With heat spamming like hell, yes, but not with AP. With, excuse me, it's not AP, it's high explosive. It's 102mm high explosive penetration. High explosive, high penetration, high explosive shells, not AP. So the heat shells will do less damage. 3000 with the high penetration, high explosive, and with the heat it is 2200, which is standard. So yeah, stock turret, it looks like a pattern turret, and top turret. And now we come to this baby, the gun launcher. 152 derp with horrible accuracy, horrible aim time, horrible dispersion on the move, but a standard shell damage of 910 when it penetrates, and against light tanks, devastating. Against RD, devastating. Against French tanks, devastating. Against asses, devastating. Best thing is, this thing's heat is credit ammunition, so you can spam heat like you want. But with 19 seconds reload, and this crew, which is not that good, but it is good, and this armament, 19 seconds reload, is long, it's really long. And because it isn't heat or in high explosive bitch, I didn't calculate the damage per minute, because yeah. Also the gun dispersion, the gun elevation angles aren't very good, because you have to think, in this little turret has to be the recoil mechanism for this huge gun. So yeah, gun depression, no, definitely not. But yeah, this was it. This was the rundown of the 9.3 update. I hope you enjoyed it. I will make another part with some gameplay videos of the high tier scout tanks. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you enjoyed this video. See you on the battlefield.